One of the biggest issues for business owners and paid media managers alike is the tracking attribution dilemma. Most people are asking for tracking when they should be looking for attribution. The reason is simple, is sometimes tracking is going to tell you, hey, you have 5 leads. And then you go back and you check the logs and you ask, okay, so who? Tracking can both over-report and under-report at the same time. So what we need is attribution, because they are two different things, and nowadays with technology that we have, with all the platforms that we have access to, they do both tracking and they do attribution, but they are not the same. When Meta Ads introduced the quality, which is now they show how amazing your tracking is, what they're referring to is how much attribution you have on top of your tracking, which is a quality score between 0 to 10. So if you have a 10 out of 10, it means you have a precise perfect attribution the way that they want. So what is tracking? Tracking is counting what happened, the way it happened, how many times it happened. It doesn't mean anything else. So if somebody submitted a form 5 times, if Rodrigo submitted a form 5 times, we will see on tracking 5 conversions. So for example, one thing that we can do, quite simple example, is you click on an ad, and every time you click on an ad, what's going to happen is you're going to be sent to a place with a unique link. The page that you have access to is going to receive a variable that is called FBCLID, which is the Facebook click unique ID. It's a unique for every single click that every single person clicks on an ad, and with this unique ID, if I repeat the same conversion over and over again, I'm going to attribute this conversion, this tracking, to the same specific ad. Now, that's it. It's just a number. So we can have 5 of the same one, unless we have, not going to the details, the deduplication, which is when we are able to remove the duplicate events because we have good attribution, and you understand that Rodrigo should not be filling the form 5 times because we also have attribution windows. So if Rodrigo fills the form 5 times in 7 days, let's just count as 1. So now, what is attribution precisely? If we think about attribution, is finding out that it was Rodrigo. We have the Facebook click unique ID, which is unique to Rodrigo. We have Rodrigo's email. We have something related to connect precisely what this person did. When you go into Google Analytics, for example, and take a look at all the events just means something that happened. It doesn't mean that somebody did it. Now, it got a little bit complicated, but it's not. It's simple. If I submit a form 5 times, I am testing the form. It doesn't mean that I have attribution. Businesses need attribution to live. If you have a door-to-door business, you need attribution. If you have online ads, you need tracking, and attribution is a layer that helps you to grow, which is also mandatory to grow, otherwise you're going to be running blindly. So I'm going to show you a solution that I have as well on how I can fix this issue in a very simple way. So we have on tracking the capacity of over-reporting, meaning I can say in a week that the pixel reported 5 events. But the real leads that we can see over there, that sent an email, that booked a call, we can see 2. But in reality, what is attributed to the ads could have been 1. What does it mean? If we don't have a Facebook click ID, there's no attribution. They didn't come from the ads. Where did they come from? I don't know. But we cannot prove that an ad, a conversion, was attributed to a specific ad. It didn't come from the ad. If you're hiring someone, or if you are the person implementing for somebody else, and you don't give attribution, you're giving guesses, you're giving tracking that does not exist, that somebody could have faken it. At the end of the day, if you say that we had 5 leads and there's 0 leads, where are the leads? Attribution and tracking are very important, 2 sides of the same coin. Not exactly, but today, yes. Think about a company that sells door-to-door. And if a sales rep knocks on a door and they have 7 days for the person to buy, let's say it's an internet company, and if the customer becomes a customer within 7 days of a sales rep knocking on the door, it's attributed to them. But what happens if the sales rep, the person going door to door, knocks on the same house 5 times? Tracking means that every visit is going to count as one specific conversion. if I visited a home, if they convert, I get a sale. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales from the same house that I only bought once. This is where the attribution comes into place. At the financial report, you're going to see, hey, the house number 42, it made 1 sale. But we can see on the tracking that the house 42 made 5 sales. Because again, every single time we knock, we get into the conversion tracking is, hey, if they knock and they sell, we get a number. So the deduplication happened because we have a unique person who went door to door, and we can say, hey, not only we found that the house number 42 only purchased once, but we can also find that the person number, I don't know, 13, I'm giving a number, let's say John, that John knocked on the door 42, and it doesn't matter if it was once, if it was 100 times, but 1 sale is 1 sale, because it would not make sense for John to receive 5 times the commission if it's the same sale. So attribution is, we know that it was John. Going to meta ads, we know that they came from this specific ad, from that specific landing page, that campaign. I'm going to show you in a second how it looks like. It's quite simple. And then the sale never happened. So if it doesn't happen, why are we attributing the sale? Which means that we can also underreport. And how do you underreport is, if John did not log, he did not write it down and came to the company and say, hey, John, how many houses did you visit today? He said, yes, 100. And if you ask the question, okay, so which houses have you visited today? And John is going to say, I don't know. So if John says, I don't know, we are going to see a sale. But if we don't know, it might have been somebody else. It might have been that John really didn't visit the house. Maybe John is lying about visiting the houses. Maybe John did make the sale, but if he didn't log that he did it, how are we going to know if it was really a conversion from John? So one important aspect I like to mention a lot is you cannot grow your business without attribution. You need tracking to start running ads, and attribution is a plus when you start. But as you grow, attribution becomes the most important game, because you need to understand not only which channel is bringing the conversions. Google Analytics can do that. The Google Analytics can do it perfectly. But Post-Rogue as well, which is 2 apps for tracking stuff, I don't like those solutions because they are anonymous. When we go with precise attribution, we know the person, we know the name, we know the email, we know that every single thing we can know about this person, we do. So a perfect attribution is a correlation between marketing, anonymous data, and sales, and the company itself, the company revenue. So we can see the sale happening. So it answers the question, who gets the credit? And it's door-to-door, it's the TV, it's meta ads, it's Google ads. If we have the precise tracking, perfect. And how would John prove that he was over there? By the way, this is how it happens door-to-door nowadays with big companies. They go door-to-door, they have a tablet, they need to prove with GPS signal. Now we have a few different things happening. If John says that John was on, on neighborhood A, and he made a sale on neighborhood C at the same time, how is this possible? We have the 7-day attribution window. So if it's 7-day, okay. If it's only when John visits, so he cannot be in two places at the same time. So he needs to log and prove exactly what's going on. So, for example, we don't know where it came from. And then it happens the dashboard is different from the inbox, which when I do consultation for marketing agents and business owners that they have agencies helping them, it's very normal to see the agencies reporting and say, hey, look how great it's getting now. Look how better we are. And then the business owner says, hey, yes, we are selling a lot. And but I'm not sure if it's because of the influencer marketing and the influencers that I hired last month, or is it because of the ads that we are running? Because they are right. We have the conversions going up by 38%, the agency can say. But we don't know where they came from. So for us, it looks like we have nothing inside the inbox, even though the sales is going. So how many times have I started auditing a company and I found that, hey, there's nothing coming from the ads, and you are actually doing all the job. So attribution is solving the problem. So it overcounts, it misses real ones if you have only tracking. So attribution is what helps you to trust precisely everything that happens, which ad, which person, and which window. And as a bonus, let me show you how I do this simple trick of collecting the attribution precisely from the ads. I'm going to give you two assets in here right now. The first one is an automated tracking URL, which is from Meta, not mine. They provide this for us. And with this specific URL, you can use as an UTM variable, and you can collect that on your website. And then you have precise understanding of where people are coming from. Give me a sec. Okay, so this is attribution. What is that? It's a spreadsheet. It's the easiest thing we can ever do in our entire lives. And this goes a little bit beyond, because I have the lead time. When we have a lead inside this company, I collect the time, and I'm also sending offline conversions just so you can get even better precision by using first time data, which it's an automation of its own, so it doesn't matter anything for this video. And I'm also collecting when they purchase something, which in this case is now $40, is not one anymore. So when they do a wait list, I'm also tracking it here just so I can know where they're coming from. So I'm attributing the purchase to the lead. How? By taking a look at every single thing we can see. This person, Danielle, that came from Australia, Sydney, with this IP, came from Facebook, mobile feed, from this campaign, so on and so on and so forth. And we had all of the other stuff in there, like the website, and we have the ID. Let me see if I can show you. And there, we have the Facebook ID here. The Facebook ID is unique for every single click, so if I click in here, you're going to have a different one for every single one of them. With this in mind, what happens is I can track the conversion precisely back to where it came from. So it doesn't matter what happens. If I see this email from Susan doing something, within the attribution window, I can say it came from the ads. Now, how do you get this data? Two things. The first one is by appending this link into your ad all the way down inside the ad editing inside Meta Ads. You can simply adjust this one, and you can add right at the last element inside your ad settings. And if you just copy and paste, what's going to happen is every single click is going to have this specific number, or so this specific URL added to the URL. And how do you do it? Depending on how you run your website, you need to collect that and send, and then you can have a spreadsheet like the one I showed you, and then you have attribution. You have perfect attribution. Doesn't matter what happens, you know they came from the ads, and you can pinpoint and cross-reference. If you want to do simple, just cross-reference with the leads you have, the CRM of the client, the sales they have every single week, and you can cross-reference and find exactly and precisely what every single event is, where every single event is coming from. And that's it. The simple way of solving the issue of attribution and tracking. A few things I left out out of intention. And by the way, if you are on the video right now, only 10% of people get to the end. So if you are at the end, leave a comment below and tell me if this is something you would like to see more details of, or maybe if the 100 details are left out of this video would be something you're interested. So leave a comment and I can go expand this detail a little bit more. But congratulations, you are part of the top 10%. Now, the last thing I want to sort out is, there's a simple solution. Every single company needs attribution just so they can grow. For us to optimize the ads, for us to optimize the funnel, the revenue, we need to understand where they're coming from and what message they are coming from. If we optimize enough, we understand the patterns and we understand what words drive behavior, just so customers can keep going and moving in a very nice pace. And then we can get the understanding of the company, of the unique value proposition, and we can help the sales team to get better. We can create a landing page, we can create a video sales letter, we can create a product, a different offer based on the understanding of attribution. Attribution is not only to understand and track revenue. Attribution is how we grow. Because if I come back and I check and I see that the ads, which ad is bringing which sales, which events, which bookings, I know what triggers people's behaviors. I know the words, I know the graphics, I know everything, and I can make better. I can make it better every single day. So thanks for watching, and if you are here, you are now part of the top 9%, because probably 1% of people are already left. I would love for you to join my community and see this kind of resource in a deeper level inside. Click the link, and if you want to hire me or do something like this, there's a bunch of options on the link below, and I see you on the other side. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.